Forte and Free. Thank you so much for your company this week. Thank you for not giving me any tie breaks on Podmaster. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Georgia. It's a pleasure as always. Have a fab weekend. Catch you for Sounds of the 80s at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. But right now, it is 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, Tina Dahealy.
Oh.
I got there in the end.
Yeah, thank you, Gary David. Thanks so much. Have a lovely weekend.
You too, lovely.
Hello, this is Tina Dahealy sitting in for Jeremy Vine on the programme this lunchtime. The Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will not attend the COP27 climate summit next month. Is that a failure of leadership or a pragmatic decision for someone so new to a big job? Can you believe that 95% of black British adults and 93% of British Asians either cannot or do not swim? We'll hear more. With warnings of sober decisions on potential spending cuts in the pipeline, we ask what the implications are for already squeezed school budgets. And is your life blighted by feral goats? A town in Wales has set up a task force to deal with them. I'd love your thoughts, your stories, your comments. It's vine@bbc.co.uk. Include your number so we can call you back. You can text to 88291 or WhatsApp 08000 288 291. BBC Radio 2. But first, let's get the news with Claire Runacres.
Thanks, Tina. The European Union has warned the world's richest man, Elon Musk, that Twitter will fly by our rules after he completed his £38 billion takeover of the social network. Mr. Musk tweeted, "The bird is freed," after purchasing the site in reference to its logo, but EU regulators were quick to remind him that the company would still need to follow the bloc's rules on online content. The technology journalist Will Guyot says the billionaire is now under a lot of scrutiny.
He is now the most famous public figure owning a social network and is now going to have to report to governments all around the world about how he's going to improve safety and trust and all sorts of other issues on these platforms when he's just laid off their head of legal and trust.
A woman who murdered a friend from church has been told she must spend at least 34 years in prison in the first live broadcast of a murder sentence in England and Wales. Gemma Mitchell, who's 38, killed 67-year-old Mi Quinn Chong at the older woman's home in London before dumping her body in Devon. Speaking at the Old Bailey, the judge, Richard Marks KC, described Mitchell as extremely devious and said there was no doubt the murder was carried out for gain.
The enormity of your crime is profoundly shocking, even more so given your apparent religious devotion, as well as the fact that Deborah Chong was a good friend to you and had shown you great kindness.
The owner of British Gas, Centrica, says its decision to reopen a giant gas storage facility in the North Sea will help reduce or stabilise energy costs for households this winter. Rough, based off the east coast of England, is operating at a fifth of its original capacity, storing enough gas to heat 1 million homes for 100 days. The Northern Ireland Secretary, Chris Heaton-Harris, has said he's extremely disappointed that the power-sharing executive at Stormont hasn't been restored. He insisted the people of Northern Ireland deserved a fully functioning devolved government and said he'd provide an update later on his legal duty to call an election. David Linus, who owns a coffee shop